Greetings folks and welcome to another 8/16/32-bit. I'm Rob and today we're taking a look at the Sinclair ZX81. Now, for those of you who don't know what the ZX81 is, which is probably a fair few people, it was the precursor to Sinclair's legendary ZX Spectrum and realistically is the machine that started off the home computer boom in the United Kingdom. Now, compared to other computers, even those available at the time, such as the Commodore PET, the ZX81 was an incredibly simple machine. Now, its specifications are as follows. It used a Zilog Z80 CPU running at 3.25 MHz. It initially shipped with a whopping 1 kilobyte, yes, 1 kilobyte of RAM, which was expandable with external add-on packs up to 64 kilobytes, although only 56 of those were usable. It used audio cassettes as its storage medium. It outputs a simple monochrome display to the TV, which was powered by the Z80. There was no extra hardware there. And that display was 24 lines of 32 characters wide or 64 by 48 pixel wide graphics mode. Now, this is an incredibly basic system, but the price also reflected this, and this was one of the key components to its success. When it was first introduced in March of 1981, you could purchase it in a kit form that you assembled yourself for just £49.95 or pre-assembled for £69.95, which, when you convert that to modern prices, is roughly about £190 for the kit form and about £270-ish for the pre-assembled form, which at the time made the ZX81 incredibly affordable. Now, despite these huge limitations, many people did produce some great software for the system, especially in terms of what people could do in the gaming region. Now, most software for the ZX81 ultimately did require at least 16K of RAM, but even so, this was an incredibly restrictive amount of memory and system resources to work in when you do consider that everything is being pushed by the CPU. Now, probably the most legendary piece of software for the ZX81 is 3D Monster Maze, which, as you can see here on screen, is actually a pretty good rendition of a three-dimensional maze. It uses the ZX81's inbuilt character graphics to create something that is truly outstanding given the system's limitations. Now, by modern standards, this is an incredibly basic game, but it's still really good fun to play. You have to escape the maze and avoid being killed by the T-Rex. And believe you me, it can get quite tense when you're told that you're being hunted and you can hear the footsteps of the T-Rex. This is one of those games that just grabs people and it almost defies the limitations of the system. It's outstandingly well put together when you look at the limitations. This is a notionally 3D game on a system with 16K of RAM and a 3.25 megahertz CPU. No graphics hardware, no sound hardware, nothing like that, just the Z80 and the RAM. And this level of ingenuity helped drive the British software industry through the 80s. People started on this system and graduated to the ZX Spectrum when it came out the following year, the Commodore 64, the Amstrad CPC, and this built a real strong software industry for the UK. But anyway, I digress. We're talking about the ZX81 here. Now, there were other games. For example, here is a Pac-Man clone, which, again, it doesn't do anything overly spectacular, but it's Pac-Man on a system so basic that these days you couldn't even fit a document file into its memory footprint. And it plays really well. It's smooth, it's fast, and it is most definitely Pac-Man. Now, obviously, whilst you have many games like this, and there were a lot of single-screen arcade-type games, the ZX81 also came with an early version of Sinclair Basic, and it really did help people learn how to program. This was getting computers into the hands of people that, prior to this, might have only seen them on television shows or in science fiction films with lots of flashing lights and huge data banks with massive reel-to-reel tape transfers. This put that whole sci-fi thing of the computer into the home of many British people, and it was a huge, huge success. The ZX81 ultimately shifted over 1 million units, and, if my memory serves me correctly, was available to purchase up until around about 1983, 1984, which isn't bad going when you consider by that point Sinclair had already released its hugely successful ZX Spectrum, which was the follow-up to this and was originally known as the ZX82. The Commodore 64 had hit the UK market by that point, and there were other competitors available, such as the various Atari 8-bit systems. You also had the TRS-80 machines, the Commodore VIC-20, which was another low-cost entry-level system, which was more powerful than the ZX81. But the ZX81 hung in there, and it did really well. And yeah, there's an element of nostalgia here, but this little machine that could was the catalyst. It was the starter. Without the ZX81, we wouldn't have had the ZX Spectrum, and I don't think home computers would have taken off in the UK the way they did, because the ZX81 was cheap, cheerful, and accessible to all. The ZX Spectrum took that same idea of being cheap and mass market and just improved on the basics. It gave it some color graphics and some much more basic sound. And it was a clear evolutionary step up from the ZX81. And yeah, it's just incredible what this little machine achieved ultimately when you break it down. Now, as I said, it wasn't powerful, it wasn't brilliant, but it's beloved. Did you have a ZX81? If you had one, let me know in the comments down below. Tell me what you did with it, what games you played on it. Let me know how the ZX81 influenced you and your usage of computers and your love of computers going forward through your life. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, you know all the usual stuff. It's here on screen now. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, hit that hype button. Believe you me, that hype button, if you get the chance to hit it for a video, really helps out small creators like myself. You can also really support the channel by joining the Patreon or joining the YouTube membership. The links are in the description below. You can also make a one-off donation via Ko-fi. Again, link down below. You know, tell me what you've enjoyed about this video. Tell me what you've not enjoyed about this video in the comments. I'm open to all comments. And, you know, this is a great video. You'll see a list of my current supporters on screen. Lots and lots of love for these guys. Without you, it would be really difficult to carry on doing this. It just makes me feel that people want to watch this. And yeah, I've been Rob. This has been 81632-bit, and hopefully I will see you again on the next video. So long for now.